I like how well we are live. Sláinte. Apologies for being slightly late. But listen,
25
it's
minutes.
okay because we're here. We're here with Killowen, and we're doing a Killowen full tasting set. So the full bonded experimental tasting set. So plenty of you have this set. Well done, lucky people, lucky, lovely, lovely people. And actually, I have the set with me tonight as well. Finally, sorry, Connor. Jesus, you must be drunk already, Connor, is it? So I have the set here tonight. So this is the wonderful set. Yes. Okay. Because actually, I've ran out of Killowen whiskey, so I no longer have any.
I'm the same. I have no Pinot Noir, but I've got a really old sample of the peated cask. Bits and pieces of stuff. Yeah, they're hard to get now.
I've got some running order here. I've got some running order. So we kind of start with the dark rum from Jamaica, but we don't have to go in that running order one to nine. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll just talk a little bit before we crack open any bottles. Indeed, Connor, you're indeed breaking my balls. Yes, indeed. There's 2 question marks in the box. Bottles number 8 and bottle number 9. So I'll bring them out just now. There's bottle 8. It's a beautiful kind of pale colour. Lovely pale colour. Yeah, look at that. And then bottle number 9. So we've gone from healthy urine sample to something which is quite serious. You might want to go and get that looked at.
Is that what kept you late, Paul? Whiskey week.
Here, people saying fashionably late. Yes, of course. Fashionably late. So, I don't know. I mean, Brendan, just out of curiosity, number 8, and we're going to tell people this just now, okay? So we can tell people just now. This is some sort of poaching. We'll talk about it later, but it's poaching, right? We're going to come back to that later. But number 9, in case anyone wanted to do this, this is the Gloria.
Have you got a bottle of it there, Paul? Give it a sneak preview. Oh, I suppose there was a couple of cases sold. That's right.
Yes. So this is the Gloria. For anyone who wants to know, number 9 is a Gloria. I'm just wondering whether or not we drink this neat, or whether or not we expect people to go and make some, Belfast or Killowen coffees, as they're called now.
Yeah, well, do whatever you guys want with it. But if you've got some cream at hand, treat yourself, But if not, if you do want to make yourself coffee, I'd suggest a tiny little bit of whiskey or potching and throw your coffee into it. But and then a bit of cream on top. But if not, just indulge.
Indulge, yes.
There's a wee mini of it there.
Listen, Brendan, seeing how we have you on, what?
Here, Paul, just before we start, I was just realising there's only, I know this is just the mini Belfast Whiskey Week.
Yes.
But there's only 2 distilleries featuring in it.
Yes.
Killowen, well, featuring in it specifically, Killowen and Bushmills. That's right. Does that nearly put us up there with Bushmills?
I think it puts you beyond Bushmills. Surely you're out the traps first as well. Do you know what? It was very simple, Brendan, and I think it's very, very simple. The Christmas festival, the Paddy's Week festival, very simple. I wanted to keep them nice and short, very small. I wanted to thank people who'd been involved, obviously, within the bigger festivals at the same time. And also, when Killowen ended that bonded experimental series, it kind of just fit nicely into doing something where we could explore them all at the same time. And I thought that was a tribute to what's going on at Killowen. So it's a tribute. And I think with the Bushmills, this Causeway collection has grasped, many imaginations. So there's a lot more people doing the Killowen tasting. A lot more people. We had about 20 odd people have got a Killowen box, whereas the Bushmills one, that is very limited to the amount of people that are on the Bushmills tasting. So yes, I just thought it was a nice compliment to Killowen. Why not?
Yeah, thank you very much.
What order do you want to do this in? Because I'm not really fussed. Where do you want to start?
Start at the top left-hand corner and maybe just work through it in order like normal people do.
So we're just going to go. You're funny. We're just going to go with the dark rum Jamaica, right? We're going to go for bottle number 1.
I haven't tasted this in a long time.
I know. The dark rum Jamaica. Love it. Absolutely love it.
I think Mick McGuire sent me up a sample once at a wee private tasting with, geez, I was about to call them dubs, but they definitely weren't, with guys from Galway and all. And it was just a wee private tasting one night. It was great crack. But there's a few dubs on it.
John McDougall says, only met Gloria. She was far from being a beaut. He's only ever met one Gloria. I don't know any Glorias. I mean, I hear the name being used on telly, but I've never met one.
Yeah. We'll get, neither have I. We'll get on to that in a while. Nice little story about it.
Listen,
nice dessert.
There was a question that if people want to come on here for the banter, they're more than welcome. We will bring people on. Not an issue, Gareth, of course. We'll do that in a wee while. We'll just get a couple of wee chats on the go and then we'll bring people in. But here we are. This is where it started, didn't it? I mean, have I done that right? It was the rum.
Yeah.
The first one.
Remember, before we released this, Phil came up, gentleman, came up with Val White, and the guys, had a couple of cask samples, and they tasted what was in the casks, and they said some really nice things, and they basically said that this was nearly ready at the time. But for me, it wasn't quite ready. But the guys were just, really appreciated their help at the time. But I thought it needed something else, and then we introduced the Northern Irish single malt component in there that we got from the guys in Acklandville, who I don't know where they got it from, and they got it from somebody else. But brilliant. Thanks very much for them again for the camaraderie there and helping us out. But it just made this blend, and I just thought the whiskey went from strength to strength after that. But really, getting the rum far more than I remembered now.
There's some heat off this, isn't there? There's some heat. I don't think. No, I didn't put the. I didn't put the ABVs on the tasting card.
That's big rum.
Remember, folks,
there's a lot of rum. I couldn't believe how much rum there is in that. I don't remember that from before. From way back, it's really rummy. Like it's like molasses in there. I didn't think it was as much, but it is. That's brilliant.
I used 2 full bottles, obviously, for the tasting sets. And when I use the 2 full bottles, one is within the number range, and one of those is out with the number range. So it was one of those ones that was an overrun.
One of the extras. Yeah.
The extras, yeah.
And I think, did they taste different at all? I don't think so. Just straight out.
But I'm just making it quite clear that we're bottle openers here, Brendy. We're all about opening Killowen. Let's not have Killowen sitting on shelves lying about. Let's get them opened. So that's
why we've none left, apart from these 2. What was that? I've none left. But talking to these now. That's tasty.
That's good. That's very, very good.
Yeah.
Wow. I want people to, hopefully everyone's opening this. So we're on number 1. The reason why it's in a tasting pack is because actually if you have these at home and you're really frightened to open your bottles, you should be drinking this. Do not keep the box. That would be just even more stupid. Good to see some people on here. Zoltan, yes. Well done. Hungry. How are we? Good to see you. Okay,
good man, Zoltan.
How are we?
We'll get to Zoltan's cask in a while.
Jesus. He'll be coming on here wanting a conversation to talk about. It does wake you up. It definitely does, Robert. This is a wake-up whiskey. Wake up, smell the rum. Smell that rum, Someone tag Peter Bignell. No, he will come on. Don't worry about it. He knows when we're on. He knows what he wants to watch. He's very much
Peter's a big part of the story. And plus, it's early for him. The last time he came on the other night, he had breakfast with us. He had an oat whiskey. So he got his oats first thing in the morning. Mick McGuire said something very important there. He's just wondering, have the clocks gone back already?
Mike Maguire's just a cheeky shite. Bleep, 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 bleep. Know what I mean? I tell you what, I'm going to put the link in here, so I'm going to invite people. If people want to come in for the crack, they can do. I want to address a couple of things before I let people in. But if you're going to come into the chat, make sure you've got your cameras on. Make sure you've got a tasting box in front of you. Okay, that's what we want. I want to see people with a tasting box. I want to see people with the bottles. I want to see people talking about the festival and the whiskey. Listen, some people might not have got glassware, and there was a reason for that. Okay, if you didn't get glassware, it's because I wanted to give you all a Killowen Cult glass. All right, so you will all receive. Everyone who took a box is going to get a Killowen Cult glass. All right, they just were not here on time, and I thought it was a fitting tribute to do the Killowen box with Killowen Cult glassware. So look, you will get some. Don't cry if you didn't get any. Actually, cry if you want. I'm not going to listen. Other people might listen to you. Oh, there's Garth and Ian. Owen. Oh, it's Owen. That's no sweat, sir. Mick McGuire, don't cry. Oh, click me Mick McGuire's wee sad face. Yes. Australian whiskey auctioneer. I like the way he's done that. I like that, Sean Kingston. I like that.
Good man,
like
Sean. Congratulations. Good man.
I've done that in a couple of people's podcastings. I've gone in with my business name, just pretended it wasn't me, and then they've gone, all right, Paul, what's the crack? Evening, Kevin. How are we? Listen, I think we'll have a lovely number on tonight, so 20 odd people got this box, but I don't care how many people come on. As long as you're all opening it at some point, please, when you get the chance, because some of these boxes went out to the States, some went out across Europe, open them. Get the, don't be frightened to drink it. The rum is great, but Brendan, the tasting notes on this is just sublime. That really is that kind of. First of all, actually on the nose, you still get that fruit element. There's still that amazing abundance of fruit. It's a layer of toffee, which is really, really nice. But then you're kind of getting a very faint petrol. It's not high yet, it's not like walking into the forecourt, and sticking your nose in into the petrol tank, but it's lovely. It's very coconutty and creamy on the nose.
Coconut, real coconut, but the coconut close to the shell, really.
Yeah,
grinding them.
Yeah, creamy, milky coconut.
Yeah,
and then on taste, lovely spice, like a really kind of pineapple-y kind of spice. That kind of sweet spice that we're getting here. Lots of alcohol. Nah, it wasn't an accident, Sean Kingston. Dead on. Wasn't an accident, my backside. Look, should we get you in, Garth? I don't see these big fucking things in your fucking head. I mean, you just look so stupid, but you come on in here. I mean, I know my hair's bad. I'm waiting for my hairdresser to open up. It's been over 1 year. I've cut this myself. It's embarrassing.
What was your excuse before that?
Oh.
Just wondering, Who's coming in with the headphones? Gareth, get them in here quick. Somebody back me up.
Look at this boy. Look at him. Adam in the stream, eh? Okay. Take yourself off mute. Calm down.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, come on, get me on so I can just start opening stuff on stream.
Right.
Oh, no way.
You're drinking through it, and I'm kind of like, I need to.
Only on bottle one. Relax, you knickers.
See, they're easy to open.
But it's the rum. It's the rum. You can't there's so many people. Yeah, but there's so many people trading for it, after it going on auction. And I was just like, get me on so I can annoy some of them by opening the bottle in front of them.
Okay, Garth.
Nah. Good morning, Garth. Professional culture. Open his rum.
I've got something for you, Garth. 2 seconds. Hold on.
Is this a tonic tea cake? That's all right.
Paul, did you just open a packet of chocolate buttons? Congratulations.
That's going for 220 on auction, that one.
What, is it?
Aye, the chocolate button. Oh, sorry, no, the other one.
Do you know what, actually, John McDougall's making a funny point there. Do you know what? I have said this recently. See the amount of bottles I've opened? Definitely, I'm going to 100% say this. I've opened way more bottles than anyone else in Ireland so far this year. There's no doubt in it. And last year. What about returning bottles and getting your money back? We built your Iron Brew bottles or your Coke bottles, your white lemonade bottles. 20 pence a bottle. I've been making an absolute fucking fortune just handing bottles.
And for anybody else out there, for the rest of the world out there, there's a bunch of people involved in Belfast Whiskey Club. and they basically gather up hundreds of these mini bottles every year. What if we give them back, Paul? We get 20 pence a bottle for those, do we? What do you think, Gareth?
I was thinking you were going to say the stream was over once he started suggesting it now, to be honest. But
I said, you know what I said? See if you've got loads of these lying about. They're great for lots of things. You can keep your, if you're into cooking, keep all your spices in here. That's a really good idea. If you've got children, give them to the school. The school can do loads of cool wee things with these wee art projects. You know what I mean? They can turn them into glass walls or something. I don't know what to do. There's going to be loads of things you can do with these.
Keep digging, man. Keep digging.
Just don't fuck them out. Don't ruin the environment.
Loads of things you can do with them, yeah.
Loads of things.
Decorate your Christmas tree.
Oh, bubbles. Oh, whiskey bubbles.
All I can say is my fire pit's going to be fueled for weeks with the amount of Belfast Whiskey Week boxes that'll be coming through. Like, it's...
That's right.
Nobody can... I can actually return some of them because I do not need them, and you do. Yeah, no, I've got like 3 of them.
We're going to bring in Owen's here. We're going to bring in Owen. Owen, you ready? Thumbs up, thumbs down, hats off, hats on. I don't care. Are we coming in? Sweet. There we go, mate. There we go. Oh, no, it's the Andy fucking.
Oh, 3 of the lads.
What's happened? Right, lads.
Oh, dear.
It's like being in some.
Yeah, loving this so far.
So who we got? Who's there?
It's a close family group. Sharing one household.
They do all look like brothers.
Indeed.
Let's do. Sure.
Oh, brilliant. The 2 good-looking guys and the guy in the middle. No, I mean cousin.
So far, so good.
Wow.
What happened?
So, what one's Owen? Who's Owen? How are we, Owen? Owen, let's go around the room. Who are you? Who is everybody? Oh, they're frozen.
Oh dear.
Bollocks.
Is that because they tried to open 3 bottles simultaneously and it just couldn't handle it?
Gareth, I bet you a bottle of dark rum that the guy with his hands up is Owen.
Hopefully they come back in.
There's not that much delay on the stream.
Let's try again. We okay? They're going to be a bit fuzzy. I don't know what it is. It's maybe the signal.
No, I don't have a limit anymore.
I got 100 now.
We're good now? Owen?
There's Liam's in there.
Do you know what they're doing? They're just They're just fucking the modem out the window. They're like, here, it's just not working. Okay. Listen,
tell you what, though, it's a good while since I've had one of these bottles open, and it's nice to get another one and just taste it because I haven't tried it in ages.
I don't want to move
Something different.
The rum.
It tastes different, doesn't it, now from what I remembered anyway? It's nice to go back to something.
I don't want to move on. I can't be
drank
the rum.
We drank a lot of cast strength whiskies over that last year and a half or whatever. And Chipper said that, going back to that.
It's still just got so much of that Parma Violet stuff in it, and it's I remember that so much from before.
Simultaneous drinking, love it. That was good. That was synchronized. That was like watching those people in the swimming pool.
It's all right.
Guys, these are all perfect now. Perfect now. I think when you just get excited, the internet shits itself.
Lads, where are you all from?
Me and Owen are brothers. We're from Dublin, and then Gary's from Australia.
G'day.
Good man, Gary.
Good
Did you hear about Sean Kensington setting up Australian whiskey auctions?
Good. And here,
He's in Perth.
the lad from Australia, are you here for the crack, or are you here for, just for this tasting?
No, I live here. Yeah, I live in England, yeah.
You live in England?
Tasting tonight, yeah.
Fuck. Stay in
In
Dublin.
fairness, there's been no travelling, so.
He's stuck here. We're trying to get rid of him for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
We can't
Can't
get
get
him
far out.
Whereabouts in Australia are you from?
Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Very good. It's nice one.
Good man. And what do you make it here? What you making of the whiskies then, lads? So is this the first time you're going to taste all 7?
No, we have all 7. We have all the bottles. So,
Fucking brilliant. You've more than me.
But I wanted to do this because I wanted to win with you guys. We're on number 2. I just cracked
Okay,
that.
Fox.
In fairness, yeah, Paul. What is number 2 again?
Well,
What is number
the
2?
rum one is so good, we just have to drink it up.
Fucking number 2 is a peated malt.
Oh, the Isla.
No, the oatmeal stout. From
Number 2, peated malt.
Number 2, son. Number 2. Look.
Oh, sorry, I was looking to the right hand side. Right, very good.
Okay, yeah, I'm up for that, mate. I'm up for that. I'm up for the peated. I can
Saved a little.
We're halfway through.
I'm going to need more glasses here because there's too many of these to be drinking too quick.
Yo,
One sec.
listen, Shamini's making moves here. I don't know if anyone can read the comments. Is that Owen or is it Gerard Butler? I think you'll find Gerard Butler Scottish.
If this was here to find that, she'd be delighted with you. I'll take that all day.
Right.
All day.
Going for the peated then. Going for the peated. Again, sorry, I can't remember the cast strengths and I didn't write it down on on the tasting card. So.
This one's an interesting one. So the peated was one of the ones that, as per usual, we had to edit the information on our labels, but this time the Scotch Whisky Association approached us, although they were very decent in the way they approached us and they had a fair point. I don't know whether I agree with it or not. We accept it, but we had to stop producing this product, which was fine because we only a single cask. It says Islay because the cask came from Islay, but we were no way pretending to be a Scotch whisky. It's 100% Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
But they felt, that we were trying to impinge, and maybe it would create ambiguity. In fairness to them, it might. Some people are idiots. So, point taken, and it'll not happen again. But yeah. So, and then
it's actually, you know what? It's a freaking great. It's a great nod to fucking good peated whiskey, like.
It's not because it just shows you the influence a cask can have.
Yep.
And this is exact same blend ratios before. So it tells you maybe the closest story out of any of them as to what the original blend is. It's just peated, I never thought that the flavour would come out in this cask. Got the cask from Speyside Cooperage. It was an old cask from Islay, but it took so long. And I was talking to Jonathan Ackmanville about it, and he said, maybe roll it into your still room and let, it get warm and cold as the stills go on and off and might speed things up a bit. And he's right, after about 8 weeks, it was ready to go.
Do you know what I love about your whiskies? They're still everyone should see it, but you're going to get little bits of the bottles in here because there's little bits of char all over the place. Yeah,
there you go.
Like.
It's goodness. Yeah.
What have you done on your internet? What have you done? Is the broadband not working in Dublin?
Well, sorted now, hopefully. Yeah. Fingers crossed. We're in London.
What do you
make? Oh, are you? Where are you in London?
Yeah, in Putney.
Putney, very good.
Yeah.
Oh,
so not too far.
Dublin living in London.
Dublin, I'm an Australian lad living in London.
I got lost there. I was like, hold on. Why is this Australian boy in Dublin, but he's living in London, but he's in Dublin? I get it now. All three are in London. Get it now, right? Okay. Oh, there's
it's not that difficult thing.
Irish diaspora in London, not me. Fair play.
I want to.
Dead flies in the bottle. Aye, dead flies in the bottle. My arse teeth. But yeah,
is there?
Tiny.
No, there's not.
Balance dead.
They're dead. They're dead bees. Dead bees or wasps, are they not?
No, the dead wasps were probably in the wash. That doesn't go through in the distillate, so everything's fine.
It's like David's first said this one. Oh, that was oatmeal. But I've definitely tried this one before. Yeah. It's smokier than I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The first time I had it, was nowhere near as much smoke on it.
You guys are picking up the peated cask. Are you getting any peat in there as well?
Definitely.
Sweet.
The first time I tried it, I said didn't really get any peat off it. This time it's a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I think I've drunk lots of the peated one. It's definitely, for me, it's one of my go-to ones. I've ended up maybe drinking 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
They are really, really good. But you're quite right. I think sorry, not Owen, but Owen's brother. I think it is peatier. Very much so.
It's amazing what you can do with an ex-peated cask. You read with some nice things on the way.
Yeah.
It's the one that my brother was convinced to buy because I've been throwing samples of this stuff left, right, and centre. And yeah, brother then picked up one of those whiskey exchange bottles whenever they appeared again. He really liked the peated one.
Oh, very good. Does he like peated whiskies in general?
He's not really tried that many of them, probably, to be honest, because like he's kind of just leached off me, into the hobby over the last wee while and stuff like that. And a lot of it's Irish stuff that's going his way, and only the peated stuff's coming out recently. So, no, not particularly, but he's going for that.
Interrupting him.
Any of you lads based there in London? Any of you lads in the Killowen cult?
But you? No, 2 of us.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. It's about time to crack this open then.
No,
The troublemaker.
I'm not doing that just yet.
That's okay. We'll come back to it.
What do you make?
That's what it looks like.
What do you make of the cult lads?
So what's up with the glory? Because I seen it on the whiskey exchange, then it was gone.
Yeah.
The thing that's up with it is it's all mine. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, the whiskey exchange. We're trying to get an order together, and they wanted we could let them taste the samples, and it's going to get released very soon. But
it wasn't meant to go on sale.
The whiskey exchange wanted it there and then, so we were like, right, okay. So we sort of had to do it. So we shipped out the prototype bottles, and they went down a bit of a success. Anybody who's tasted it, like, we get on that later. Don't mention
there's more to come. Am I right, Brendan? There's going to be more Gloria.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So there you go, lads.
If I bring it down to you, Brendan, will you write batch 1 in Sharpie on the back of this one so that I can make a bit of money, like, or
sign it definitely? Might be a different label type. There might be a different label type, all right. But like,
cult for life.
That's all. I don't even have a bottle. I had a bottle. I had to give it to Paul. Yes.
I'm going to move on to number 3. I'm going to move on to the Pinot Noir.
Yeah, just be on the same.
Good, lads. Good. Look at the colour on that one. That's lovely. That kind of rosy, kind of gold tint on it. Lovely.
I'll do the bottle modelling for all these because some of them are open. Some of them have just literally finished off a bottle of this, and there's only so much whiskey you can drink on your own during lockdown, so we'll wait till a later date.
Yeah, but
I agree. I haven't even got one.
You're not drinking with the kid now, no? Is she not on it?
That's a big kid.
You're not drinking with the kid now? Is she not on it?
I wish.
So I'm out in this one because I don't have any. Dry your eyes, eh?
Dry your eyes, indeed.
Very strong nose on that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Be just go back to the Jamaican rum, Brendan. You'll not feel too hard done by, really.
Big
exactly, yeah.
Big strong nose, but there's also.
I think that's my favourite one so far.
That's what. So this is a Burgundy cask.
Yeah.
From. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Owen, what did you say? I didn't quite hear you.
I think this one's my favourite so far.
Yeah. It's bold. It's very punchy. It's got like a real fruit punch kind of note to it, and it's like peaches or something in there. There's something really, really nice about the actual mouthfeel. You bite. You kind of bite into it. It's actually really quite nice.
Yeah. Not to be a suck up for this one, but like I thought it was one of my favorites as well, and like the taste is quite. You could mistake it for some aged, pot still stuff from Middleton that's going about if you were tasting it blind.
Yeah, I think this is good. Yep, that is good. Definitely getting the tannin coming through on that. Yep.
We were always getting Skittles on the nose whenever we first tried it. I remember, and it's tasty.
One of the ones that I said was
lots of fruit. Yeah, there's a lot of fruit on it.
Quite a long
it's also
finish.
European oak. So European oak gives a bit of spiciness there too, as opposed to, everybody's familiar with what bourbon does, what bourbon casks do, the old Quercus alba. So this more than likely from the Limousin forest down in France, as we were told. Completely different notes from the wood alone. We use some of these casks.
It's a monster compared to the R2.
It gives so it's a lot more spice in the background, but as well as the fruitiness,
Brendan, did you know what the 7 casks were going to be before you started, or was it a work in progress?
No, it was the work in progress. I think we got the Pinot Noir cask, which is in fact overpowered, so we had to stick it back into another cask and rescue it for a while. Put some more of the blends back into it and bring it back. And then there was the rum cask as well. It was there from the start, but the likes of the Bass cask, the Chocolina wine cask, it took a bit of time, and the others just started picking them up as we went along. Yeah. The tequila cask was a nice find. It was good fun.
The JJ Corrie, what's the one? The Battalion finishing the tequila cask again. I think that's one of the better JJ Corries that I've tried. At least. Yeah,
no, it's good stuff. It's cracker. Yeah,
I think a lot of people say that about that JJ Corrie, about that one.
Well, I haven't tried those, to be honest, but out of all the ones I have tried, I say that's my favourite.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Tequila's good.
High grain content.
I've got the Hungarian oak sitting out airing for a wee while before we get to it, and I keep on nearly going to pick it up and swig it, and they're like, no, let's not.
I can't wait to get to it.
I absolutely love number 4, so the oatmeal stout. For me, number 4 oatmeal stout. This is this is good.
Can I put out a wanted poster for somebody on this?
Yeah.
So as I was saying earlier, right? I was working in Dungannon today. Went into Newell stores before doing the afternoon bit because it was early from lunch. Saw an oatmeal stout. Was like, we'll think about that because I've got plenty of them. I'm like, it's the last one, but we'll leave it. We'll leave it for a few hours. Been spending a lot of money recently. New releases. Came back after work thinking, sure, I'll pick it up, and if somebody else in the group wants it, fine. And I was just like, where'd it go? It's like, oh, somebody was in here, bought it half an hour before you, and I was like, I'm not surprised, fair enough. But if there's somebody in the stream who's there could well be somebody in the stream who found it before me, and I'm just putting out a wanted poster for them now. Just return what you took. Return what you took.
Wonder who it was.
The
comments will come in now.
I'll tell you a wee story. Like I was down in Enniskillen a good number of years back.
I thought you were going to say you were down in Dungannon earlier today.
Good number of years back, right? But it's a similar kind of story. I'd gone into the bar, and I was chatting to the barman, and we were just having a wee chat, and I was talking to him about some whiskies. I was looking for some whiskies, and he was like, "All right, really? What whiskies?" And I explained what whiskies, and I said, "Look, I'm any off license." He says, "You can go X, Y, and Z off license." So I went later on that night. I went to one of the off licenses. Got to the off license. And I went, "Here, any of those bottles?" I went, "No, mate." He says, "Some guy came in here and bought about 5 of them." I was like, "What?" It was the fucking barman. The fucking barman was going in and bought the 5 fucking bottles from the fucking off license because I talked about it. What an asshole! Like,
smart business. And now he's set up Enniskillen.
I'm just thinking the guy saw you eyeing up this wee bottle, and he went, "Well, that wee fella likes that. I'm going to go and find this wee bottle."
Might have, because I was the only one in the shop at the first time, and maybe they saw me looking at it and thought, "Oh, here, he's going to take."
There used to be off licenses all the way around the country, and you used to be able to just stumble in and find hidden gems.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole plan for Killowen. So we used to distribute them, and they were going around the country and all of these little off licenses. And they were actually sitting on bottles for a long time, and nobody really knew anything about it. Next thing they've all just been discovered now.
It's the last few months. People have just really, when you got to the end of the range, you got to the Hungarian oak, everybody started seeing it like massively more, and they just started disappearing everywhere. So
I know. This one's good, guys. Look at this bottle here. So this is the bottle of beer. This is called Hops and Staves. It's by Mourne Mountains Brewery.
Hoops and Staves, because I think you've been corrected before, and Liam Brogan or something gets annoyed, but I go for it.
So sorry about that name. Big beer heads, my apologies. So Hoops and Staves Lovely bottle. So it was in this cask, and this cask originally came from Bushmills, and then it went to Teelings, and then the guys got it off them, and they put their stout into it, and then we got it after them, and then we put our whiskey into it, and it's gone back to them, and they're putting their stout back into it again. So it's funny, the whole circulating the cask around the country, really making up for the carbon being cut down. But
no, this is one of my favourites of all whiskies.
The stout's amazing too.
Yeah.
So
The stout, stout was the one I at the start was just a bit wary of, and then
did you try the Teeling and the ginger beer?
No, not yet. No. Is it good? Is it good? Is the Teeling and ginger beer good? Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very unique. Strong on the ginger, but really, really nice.
good on.
I will have to try it. I have no issues trying Teeling whiskey. I will definitely try it. It's what
So that ginger beer came from the Sun Tavern. You guys are in London. Go down to the Sun Tavern in Shoreditch, or is it Hackney? Yeah. Sun Tavern's at Poaching Bar. It's where Dave Mulligan used to work.
No, was that Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, it's the umbrella. The umbrella. Yeah.
There you go.
So the guys down there, they make their own beer, and then they put it inside the ginger beer cask from there. Cracking spot.
Got 8 of the cans delivered.
Lovely.
Number 4.
Okay, Aidan. God love Aidan. Must be
That stout's great, actually. God.
The stout is so good, isn't it?
I really do get stout out of it.
Yes. You lads are having some crack, like. Here, what was Paddy's Day like yesterday in London? Very subdued.
What did I do? I drank a Red Bless, I drank a Barry Crockett's, and I drank a Dublin. That was the height of my Paddy's Day.
A full bottle of each.
Oh, not a full bottle.
It's not a bad choice, like. Not a bad choice.
Well, it was Paddy's Day, so I had to break out a decent bottle.
Yeah.
Listen, so we've got like a really lovely kind of coffee note on here, like roasted coffee bean. I get a kind of coffee cake going through it. I really do get that. There's a kind of cakey taste to it, which is really nice. And the smell, the smell. The smell of this is that's my favorite smell of all of them.
I think it's just great because it was the most fun to play with adding water, like at different levels, just to get loads of different flavors out of it.
Yeah,
like you can go through a bottle of it and get it different each time.
What are those boys at?
They're having some crack with a wee fucking.
Is that for adding water or for washing your glasses, or what's the crack?
It looks like a turkey baster. Is that
well done?
A little bit about, and for splitting the whiskey out between us.
Yes, very good, very good. Nice one.
100.
A food syringe.
Yeah.
That is good thinking. That's good thinking.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the same then.
That's brilliant. I need one of them.
Aye, for your bottles.
For my bottles. Get Garrett.
Ian's sitting in there.
There's Connor here. Right in Connor. Connor's good crack.
Well, lads, those things.
What's happening, Connor? You all right?
Not too bad, no, not too bad.
And we're all number 4, yes. We've not deviated yet. We're still on number 4.
Yeah.
We're on the old stout. We're having a bit of crack. Liz, I keep forgetting I can do this, right? But look, John McDougall, Ian Garrett is saying definitely stout flavour, also nice and creamy. Liz, I really like this. It's very touching. Not sampling, but enjoying the chat and learning. Couldn't be prouder of the variety that Killowen Distillery is bringing. Keep pushing the boundaries, Brendan. Liz Simpson's all about
Cheers, Liz. Thanks very
Well
much.
done, Liz.
She knows the
oh my
crack.
God, we've got Zoltan. We'll get him on in a minute. Aidan, let's get you back in. Aidan, was there something wrong with your internet, was there?
Yeah, my tablet died.
Good enough excuse, son. Good enough excuse.
Bastard.
The wee trick. Fucking charge it during the day. Like, charge it. Get a charge. You know what I mean?
With the setup out here, it's hard, you know.
Sure, the battery just
and the stars up above you. Brilliant.
the battery just ran out waiting for the stream to start. Surely.
That's what it is, guys.
Anyone else want to have a wee dig about me being late? Anyone else? Because you're more than welcome. You know, you're here.
Oh, you were late.
You're drinking,
You were late, you prick. You were late.
Yeah. Were you watching the Clone Cult night when I was just telling people to fuck off?
Yeah. I think I was one of the people that you told to fuck off.
I'm surprised you remember doing that.
Listen, 6 hours and 52 minutes. 6 hours, 52 minutes. That is the longest tasting I've ever been part of. Ever. I can see in the wings. We'll bring in a second. You know, crowded. We get so many people onto the screen at one time.
Here, Paul, we've got a wee question in there.
Go for it,
Paul. We got a question in there from another chat. It's from Johnny Lloyd and Emma, and they're basically saying they want to know how can we. Can you talk through how you blended the grain and the malt, etc., without knowing what kind of casks it was going to go into, or how does that all work? To be honest, Johnny, putting it into the casks was an experiment. There was a risk that things could have gone wrong. But the good thing about casking is if it sits in there too late, you're probably in trouble. But if you get it out just at the right time, so we were always pushing the boundaries, and we did overshoot with the Pinot Noir. Then we just rescued it in another cask for a while. But the funny thing was, whenever we put them all together at the start, we basically blended the different ratios together. And we were sitting at home with a syringe and like the guys there, and we teaspoons and going in rough percentages. And then we thought, you know what, that works. And the grain we had was brilliant, but I just think it needed more of that malt. And that Northern Irish malt just was banging, full of fruit and full of those oils that a grain doesn't have. So it was just a bit of trial and error, and then the rest of it was risk taking. So we took everybody in that experiment with us through the series. That was the whole idea.
I'm glad that Emma and Johnny asked that. It's a shame that I couldn't see their question because I would have put it straight on the screen. But,
he says there's too much banter going on in the page. There's no point in asking.
The banners as well. It's all about the banners. Sure, we've agreed that these tastings are nothing more than having a bit of crack. You come on for the crack. This is not uber serious. This is a bit of fun. This is Paddy's week. When we're having a bit of crack. Last night, I don't know if people. Last night was just mental. We were talking about freaking X-Files for so long and freaking dinosaurs and shit.
We didn't even have a box last night. I was just there for the crack.
You had to be there, didn't you? You know, Connor, you just had to be there just to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just mental. Zoltan.
Hello, everybody.
Number 5.
Yo, Zoltan.
Is that the Hungarian?
Hey.
That is the Hungarian number 5.
No, not one yet. But we should jump on next.
Hungarian's next.
Straight in the Hungarian.
I was hoping to join you for the next, but it is what it is.
Zoltan, this is all about you, is it?
I don't know.
Paul,
I didn't get the box.
Mute a couple there, just to see.
2 seconds.
Background noise.
Get rid of that Brendan boy for a second. Right, Zoltan.
Yes, sir.
Number 5, okay, is a Hungarian oak. Virgin Hungarian oak. That's your shit, is it?
I think I have a hand in that.
Tell us why. What happened there, like?
Basically, I met the lovely guys up there, Brandon, in person.
Talk a wee bit louder, because I can hardly hear you. If I can't hear you, no one else can. Talk a wee bit louder. Go ahead.
You want me to swallow the phone in front of me, or? But yeah, sure. I went up to Killowen a while ago, and I met Brendan, and we started chatting and to do this, do that, and what should we do? And I said, look, can I just buy a cask from you? And so much talk on. Then we shook hands. I bought a cask from him, and then I said to him, look, I want to supply my own cask. And he was scratching his head. He said, okay. And then a day later, he called me, Zoltan, I need another cask. I want one for myself. And that was the story. So
that's a good story.
I got the Coopers to bang together 2 casks, shipped them over, and the rest is history. And it's in the bottle. And I couldn't wait for a better occasion than tonight to open my bottle.
Excellent news. Thank you very much, Sultan. Bottle opener. He's a bottle opener. He's opening his bottle. That's what I like to see. Well done, Sultan. Well done.
He bought that very recently too.
Brendan, do you believe
I want to talk about the quality of that cask. Zoltan will tell you, it is the right story, except it felt more like I sold myself that cask from Zoltan. Sultan's a tradesman, which means he likes trading. Not that he's a bricklayer. but anyway,
well, I used to be a bricklayer.
I know, but now you're here. So the quality of Zoltan's casks. There's these people in Hungary who make casks by hand, and I mean properly by hand. They fell the trees by hand. They store the trees outside and just lean-to huts that dry. Takes years to dry. There's no kiln drying. The quality of craftsmanship around the crows and around the detail of the cask, even the bung itself inside the bunghole, everything is very ornate. There's just a massive degree of care taken with these casks. They're not machine cut in any way, and they're absolutely beautiful. And Zoltan will attest to it. For instance, in Zoltan's one, they even carved a message into his for Zoltan. And the one we have, they're just beautiful, and the smell of them, I just love it. I absolutely love the cask. So I had to get one for ourselves. Nearly upset to empty it.
Sláinte indeed. So spicy.
Unbelievable. Hungarian oak is so much better than any of the other European oaks. In fact, it's supposed to be, according to Fionnán O'Connor, it's actually the same species as Irish oak. When it was about.
Aidan, what are you doing with it?
Aidan,
is that a dog?
what's his favourite one so far?
This is the new member of the family, lads.
It's a dog. It looks like Sylvester the cat out of.
A fucking whiskey and it turns into a gremlin. Looks like a gremlin. Listen,
she's out to
it's super spicy, but also it becomes out of all of the whiskies in the range, it becomes the most alcoholic just on the taste, doesn't it? It just goes straight into your tongue, opens up with lots of spice, and really does come across as having a lot of alcohol to it. That it's not that I'm going to say it's not the easiest to drink, because it's not in terms of the amount of alcohol. You actually have to sit down and just savor this one a little bit more. The rest of them kind of go down a lot easier.
When you open the bottle of this one, it's really, really sharp to start with for the first few times you drink it, like 2 or 3. But if you leave the bottle just sitting around for a wee while and go back to it, there's so much more flavour comes out. At no point lying about it, because it put me off it at the start. I was like, it's a bit too spicy, a bit too rough. It's just ripped through the wood, but it's definitely grown on me a lot, because it's just, like you said, all that clove in there, but then just like cinnamon rolls on the nose as well.
I actually swapped a bottle of the oatmeal stout for
clove, cinnamon.
Who said that?
Come in a bit closer, Connor. Come in closer, Connor.
I actually swapped a bottle of the oatmeal stout for a bottle of the Hungarian oak, simply because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm the same. This is probably one of my favourite. It's just beautiful.
What's the thoughts in London? Are we liking the Hungarian oak?
Yes, we're liking the Hungarian oak a lot. The only one that cast hadn't had something in it before.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a virgin cask.
It's very, it's really unique.
The acacia had virgin heads, but this is virgin.
Yeah, that wasn't the whole cask, Brendan. So this one, The Hungarian oak was the only one that had no previous seasoning. There was nothing seasoned within that. It was just which actually really says something about the power of the actual, barrel itself. Because actually the spirit, we've seen the deviations through the other 6. We get the kind of base product in some of them, and yet this one it's rapid. It's very, very quick on the mouth. Lots of spice.
Spice on the nose just is fantastic. It's like it makes a nutmeg and white pepper and cinnamon, and it's just fantastic.
Brilliant. Exactly. Yeah, white pepper, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg. Now that you say it, yeah, it's an explosion of spice. For me, I can't really handle a lot of them. I add a tiny bit of water. And I get what Gareth's saying about, the high alcohol content of this, and or Paul said it as well. But because there's so much spice to back it up, it works in my palate. But for instance, the Pinot Noir for me comes across quite aggressive. But this here, I don't know why. I just love that heavy spice. I think it's great.
Brendan. Yeah, are you planning on doing anything in some Mizunora casks?
That would be a good idea. I think I just need to fork out and buy some. Maybe down the road. A few releases in the pipeline, but that would be a great idea. You enjoy your Mizunara, do you?
Anything that I taste that's been finished in Mizunara, I can get in it. But like I said, it's never cheap.
They're hard to get.
An experimental series 2?
No, I think there's a few other series in the pipeline. So we'll just keep them going. But not a few other, probably one more, but then a few other releases. But and then our own stuff's going to be ready in less than a year. So
I think Steffi's got a good question here. So maybe Zoltan or Brendan, do you have the answer to this?
Zoltan,
yes,
jump
sir.
in.
Hi, man. I didn't hear the question. The line was very bad.
What was the char on the Hungarian? What's the char?
Oh, it's about 2 millimeters of a char. It's like a good medium char.
Yeah, good medium char. There you go. Well,
yeah, about 2 millimeters was burnt on it. Yeah.
Super.
And that's my cat walking here in front of me on the table.
Here, and Zoltan, someone's just saying that they're drinking the Method Madness version. Had you a hand to play in the Method Madness version as well?
No, it wasn't me, no.
No.
The one I had was the first Hungarian oak cask was ever maturing Irish whiskey. Fully maturing Irish whiskey was my own Dingle cask. And then Oliver Hughes bought a good bunch, like 400 was delivered of those miniature casks, which was prematuring the whiskies, which is the sons and daughters casks. So those ones that all came through me. And the other big load was done by Teelings, which was their distillery reserve with the Hungarian oak finish. So those are the ones I had a hand in.
Good. Okay, then. Let's do that. We've got other people just coming in on the chat.
But what's a normal char on a cask? You said 2 mil.
Oh, look at Brendan.
Well, Brenda, you're on mute.
Like, it's like what you call normal is normal. So
it's this guy over here.
Normally, like when they say a normal char or a medium char is usually 2 millimeters. So a light char would be probably about 1 millimeter on the surface. 2 millimeter kind of starts cracking, making a kind of a cobweb type of effect on the inside of the cask.
Alligator, like an alligator effect, yeah.
And if they say it's alligator effect, that's kind of a heavy char, which is kind of
Did you mute Zoltan?
More into the wood, kind of going in deeper as well.
So it's like the Ardbeg alligator.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeez, Mick, put your cap on for flip's sake. Don't come on the stream so poorly dressed.
You're practically naked.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Hungarian oak. Yeah, it's just super. Well done. And well done for there being, look, it's lovely partnership working. So it's good to see. It's good to see that people are doing that. And Zoltan, no doubt that relationship that you have with some of these distilleries is paying off dividends for you. But also, we've benefited, as consumers, we've benefited from that relationship. So thank you very much for that.
It's beautiful.
And I just
Beautiful.
like to make a note on what Brendan said about it. It's like it's cask strength and it's 55.8. And it reminds me, my granny spirit, that the Dingle one was 60.4% ABV. And many of the others are, which I have other ones, and you can drink this stuff cask strength without really noticing. It's like if you weren't told this was cask strength, you would just drink it all night long without adding water. Because I don't know what the Hungarian oak does to it, but it just makes it drinkable at 55% ABV or even more.
It does.
Yeah.
So
it does.
Like any other, I just had the tasting of the Redbreast 10-year-old just before this, and that's 59.1, is it? Yeah, 59.1. I couldn't drink it. I had to add a lot of water to it. With this, I could drink it straight out of the bottle. It's like
indeed.
Don't let us stop you now. It's open.
Yeah, well, I may gonna finish tonight, but
there ain't no etiquette now, is there? No etiquette.
It's all right. He's got 3 bottles, Mick, what do you think of that one? Mick Maguire.
Sorry, I was on mute. Am I on mute? I am. No, I'm all right. Yeah. I actually I jumped on. I told Paul I'd jump on when he's gone through the Chocolina. How you Zoltan as well? I haven't spoken to Zoltan in ages. So. How you doing, mate? Sorry, Paul. We'll have our conversation among ourselves. The Hungarian one is cracking. Absolutely cracking. Really is. I think it's one. I'm still waiting for a bad Hungarian finish at this stage, but it's you can kind of see why people went wild for it.
Good. Mick, you keeping all right? You survived the other night, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that's why I promised I'd come on and open another bottle of Chocolina, because the Chocolina finished itself somehow last Friday night. I'm not sure how that kind of happened. I think one of the kids must have come in and drank it when I was asleep or something. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, halfway through the night when you fell asleep in front of everyone.
Yeah. No, that I was looking down. That was actually just my eyes, you couldn't see me. It was a bad angle.
For half an hour.
Was it? All right. I didn't feel better after it, so there's a lesson in there.
Just passed out. We must have got to that point where the potgene just went.
Yeah, I seem to be going through the potgene a bit fast. So
those heavy drugs that knock you out. That's what happened.
Medication, good one. Yeah. It was the shower cap too tight.
Maybe. I'm going to press on. I'm going to press on to La Mexico, to the tequila number 6.
Press on, Paul.
Yeah.
Brendan, what's the key? What tequila cask was it finished in? You're on mute.
Yeah, I know. It's this guy. The tequila was we don't know is the truth. The thing about tequila is we weren't able to find out. But tequilas anyway are usually merged. Usually, what we learned about this tequila is it's one of the varieties where they basically drive around the country collecting small batch tequilas and batting them together. So they tend to change in flavour year by year. But he actually wouldn't disclose where the tequila came from, which was unfortunate. So we don't buy casks off him anymore.
Yeah. A mezcal finish one a little bit more smoky. Yeah, mezcal finish would be good.
That'd be lovely. Where's the tequila? Oh yeah, here's my tequila. Yeah, the mezcal would be, but there's a little bit of smoke in this too. It is quality. Quite earthy as well. Quite a lot of earthy notes. The tequila and the Hungarian oaks were my 2 favorite ones. I don't know which one I like better, but for some reason they're just so drinkable. My fear about the tequila cask is because tequila tastes a bit like Killowen podging. with those earthy notes and that in it. So I was afraid in case you wouldn't get a lot of flavour into the cask, but it did. The spirit ended up being very earthy with that, and a little bit of smokiness in there too. A few vegetal notes, and it just rounded off the spirit better. And I was delighted with it. I was literally drinking this stuff. This and the Hungarian were just disappearing.
Yeah.
I got
one I'm drinking now is slightly different.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Got a lot of white fruits off this, like lychee and pear, like a bit of fig and stuff. It's
nose is a bit funky.
Yeah,
funky,
it's really
right?
sweet to start with, and then it just kind of it stays sweet. Like.
Yeah, I can't quite put my nose on what it reminds me of. Or my finger on what the nose reminds me of that.
Put your nose on your finger or your finger on your nose. What would you is that a game? Is that a game? Away.
We had a wee charity tasting.
I can't even do that.
Had a charity tasting a couple of nights ago when this was in it, and it won by a long shot against some other reasonable stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a group of blokes from church, and they wouldn't be that far into their whiskey, like in terms of what they've tried. But I'm trying to find more liquid, and they
brilliant.
Yeah, they were putting it top. So the beautiful part was they couldn't buy any afterwards anyway. So
there you go. Well, that's brilliant. Did you donate the bottle to them for it?
Yeah, so just because of lockdown, like I've had a few bottles that just are opened and like they need finished. So decided just to do it for. Well, yeah, like I mean, you can't have people around. You can't have people around to your house, so like you have to give it out. So no, I just thought, well, I'll put a few bottles in, 6 or 7 bottles, including this, and we'll raise a bit of money for charity and stuff like that. So
well done. It went well. Thanks for spreading the word.
Do you have an answer to Robert here? He's looking for what the ABV is on this.
Well, that's 55.4 on mine.
55.4, plenty of it. So maybe you are indeed just hammered.
How many bottles were there in that? Because that cask was annoying. It was leaking.
388.
388. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Well, that's good because it was one of the earlier ones we had taken out of the cask as well. So,
what was the lowest bottling number of the 7?
The rum, I think, because we allocated a few to the bank and College Green. So if you go into the bank and College Green, they have some once it opens up again.
340 is on the rum one.
My own bottle here.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Which will be getting cracked open soon.
Good man, Connor. Good man. Good man.
No, I really like that as well. Like that's really different, isn't it? It's really different.
There's a nice bit of that tobacco smokiness in it, like you say. Just
tobacco is the right word. Yeah. If any of you's got the press releases that went out in this, it said tobacco on it.
Oh, did it? Cool.
But
did that the press releases sharpied out?
The press releases are just raw with spelling mistakes.
Tequila cask. I was very frightened, Brendan. I'll be honest. Tequila to me is a very dangerous spirit. I mean, it's
nasty stuff.
It's very dangerous. I mean, I just know what my life was like with tequila. Yeah, very dangerous. And
was that tequila drank in Glasgow, by any chance, or here?
Tequila at 50 pence a shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but is that real tequila? You know what I mean? It's like people drinking whiskey and whiskey.
Good mezcal's not too bad, but I've never really been a fan of tequila.
I think mezcal.
I would agree with you.
People are talking about mezcal, and a long time ago, nobody was drinking mezcal. Yeah. I think poaching could be our mezcal. I think poaching should be exported and celebrated all around the world, but providing that it's made better than some of the crap that's out there today. But thankfully, there's a lot of good brands at the minute. But I think we should be exporting poaching and enjoying it more.
Some of the best poaching I've had has been from the back of Beyonds and Fermanagh.
Yeah, indeed, lovely stuff. If it's done right, it's lovely.
Brendan, if you're paying 50p for your tequila, you're probably not worried about how high quality it is.
It's for one reason only. Do you know the sort of people that drink 50p tequila are the same sort of people who drink cider out of a straw?
You know what? So,
you go on a whiskey tasting with this guy, right? You go on a whiskey tasting with him. Next thing you know, whiskey's over. You just go straight, Paul. You've actually muted yourself. Straight to the bar, gets 2 bottles or 2 pints of cider with 2 straws, and just sucks away at it. Straight to his head, and he's gone.
You know, he's not a million miles away from the truth. You know what I mean? Quite frankly,
it's true.
Well, I don't like, you know, but everyone knows how you have to caveat it. I don't drink lager, and I don't drink beer, and I don't drink Guinness. So when you're beyond spirits, when you can't drink any more whiskey because you know you're going to just pass out, you know, a cider with a straw, I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly fine, perfectly okay. Do you know what I mean? But here, you may slag me off, Brendan. That's okay, son.
It's brilliant.
I'll remember that.
I appreciate it.
Have we ever actually proved that he's drinking the cider, or is he could just be blowing bubbles into the cider?
Oh, he's drinking it. He's drinking it. Because he thinks this
He's like Blackadder. He's like Blackadder. He's just like, oh, my incredibly strong stuff, you know, and then like just.
Oh no, the Angry Orchard stuff's really nice, and the friggin'.
It is.
I like things like that. No, I do. I like a good cider.
Stonewall's nice, in fairness.
I can't drink cider. It just blows the head off. I can't.
It's just Sigonia. Oh, remember that?
Actually,
it's still about.
Coffee down in Meath is really nice stuff. They make a very archaic version of cider called peeved cider. Really, really nice stuff.
Look, you're getting quizzed here, Brendan. Mitchell
Peeved,
any good?
Keeved. Apparently, it's lovely. A very old style method of making it.
Oh, right. Nice one. Good on them. Charlie, what do I think about Mickle poaching? I think it's bang on. I love it. I love Mickle. I think they're great. You know, following them. They've started making whiskey from yesterday, I think, was it?
Yeah, there was they had a post up on social media, the first whiskey laid down in Galway in 100 years or something like that.
Good on them. About time. Delighted for them. Great stuff. You know, there's Francis McGarrett on now.
Who did we lost someone there though? Someone just went off.
Sorry.
Owen.
Connor.
Oh,
who was it?
No, Owen and the lads in London.
Hey lads.
Right, Ian, how
Good
are you?
Ian.
Cheers, Brendan. Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, buddy.
What's the crack with you?
Biggest all time. I can't believe I've logged in as bring back smoking in pubs. I couldn't change it. That was when we were talking to Kit. Like, I can't change the name on it. I don't know how.
Can't change the name on
back again.
I'm down as bring back smoking in pubs. Paul, you need to be careful. We've got about 5 dubs in this call already. Are you sure you're
Well, it represents the country, doesn't it?
I don't care.
That's right.
Although if all the countries out, we probably only have about 200,000.
Number set.
Brilliant. What about Ian?
Only some though, Graham. Doesn't kill everybody.
I have to do the medical thing.
It kills the weak. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. I've lost a few people through it, so.
Fucking
you're great crack, Ian. Thanks for coming on.
Say again?
I said you're great crack. Thanks for boosting the mood, you know.
I try my best.
Bring back.
The way the country's feeling.
Charles, no tray. Bring back. You're thinking a silk cut. Same colour, kid. Silk tray and milk cut. A silk cut and milk tray. But what one are we on now?
What's been people's favourite so far?
Pinot Noir.
I only got in at number 4, 5, and 6 I've had. So what's that? Oatmeal I thought was beautiful.
Yeah,
the Virgin
Virgin oak.
Virgin oak's lovely. Tiny bit of spice on the 6. I wouldn't be mad about tequila now. I know you guys are. I wouldn't be mad about tequila.
No, Pinot Noir all day long for me.
Yeah, I agree. Rum, Pinot Noir, and the stout for me are being the top ones.
Roman
The
Virgin.
tequila is very, there's a serious tingle on the side of the tongue. It's like a Szechuan pepper kind of spice. Like it's a bit more harsh than white pepper. It's a really you feel all the alcohol.
Who's saying the Szechuan pepper? Fair play. I don't think I've even had a Szechuan pepper.
Maybe you
can send them down. Maybe you can send them down to the 80.
Well, what do the dots on the thing mean?
Oh, sorry, Connor. Yeah, so basically, before I labelled them, I was actually having to use numbering. So
I get the numbering, all right, but the dots.
Yeah, but the 7 dots in that one with the dots on it.
Sorry,
but did you just get bored?
Yeah.
My dog, I'm going to mute myself for a second. My dog, she's getting very jealous the last few weeks. I can't talk to anyone anymore.
Fuck off. He's talking about his dog. He's still talking away. He's muted. Absolutely blinding. Listen, so actually, we're going to finish this one. We're going to on the number 7, Chuckalina cask. I really like it. It was very different. This is one of the things that I thought, Brendan, you've lost the plot here. But Acacia ends. Is that right? Chuckalina cask. Acacia ends. Yep. Fuck off, you wee. Just come on up. Somebody has a really bad.
Am I back in? I don't think it's mine. It's not mine.
He wants back in. 2 seconds. Brendan, Chuckalina wine cask. What's that all about? Chuckalina cask.
Right, guys. So Chuckalina is a wine from the Basque Country. So the Basque Country is an amazing place. The people there have their own language that's older than any other European language, even older than Irish. The oldest bloodline in Europe as well. And it's a fascinating country. The foods that they have, they've more. San Sebastian is more Michelin stars than any other square mile in the world. But between there's 2 cities. There's San Sebastian, there's Bilbao, and both of them sort of competing personalities, and they're very different. And even there are 2 wines, there are 2 versions of Chuckalina wine, or Chuckalí as the Spanish will call it. They're different from each other. So the thing about Chuckalina is it's very aggressive. The grape is quite xerophytic because it's got that North Atlantic drift, and that salt water coming off the sea, and it really impacts the grape there. So the grape has got a thicker skin on it, and it's got big seeds, big pips inside it. So you can't separate the skin and you can't separate the pips because there'll be no grape left. So they just bloody ferment the whole thing together, and it's a very aggressive wine that comes out as a result. It's very tannic. It's very sparkling as well. And Paul, what do you have? So Chuckalina wine is gorgeous. And what we done is we were looking for an impressive wine. We wanted something full of lemon and full of vibrancy, and it really comes out well in this cask. So the good Sean, no, I didn't pay for that Basque speeding ticket. Sure, we're not in the EU anymore. They can't get me. Anyway, so the thing was about we wanted even more of that vibrancy. So we wanted to go for a real spicy whiskey. We wanted to go for a real vibrant whiskey. So we said, we're going to make this a hybrid cask. So we removed the heads and we got acacia, virgin acacia heads on it. So virgin European oak, we've seen what it done with Zoltan's cask. But what acacia does, remember in Irish whiskey, you don't have to use oak. Acacia isn't oak. It's very similar in its properties, but it's not oak. So we just wanted to really experiment. We got this crazy cask. So a very vibrant, fruity, pungent wine, quite aggressive with these virgin acacia heads. And that added a lot of white pepper, wood spice, some of those notes we tasted earlier. Not so much clove though. And more lemon than anything else. And punched that into the whiskey, and it created a very strong whiskey. And this is the only one of them that I definitely would add a little bit of water to. It opens it up, and it really brings out that Northern Irish malt that we put into it. It really brings out those qualities, So, where is my glass? Here we go. That's it there. So I'm going to actually taste it first. Banging. It's banging stuff.
You liking that, John? Ian, you liking it?
Oh, I've just poured it. Sorry.
No need to apologise.
Haribo strawberry softies.
I got like a really strange kind of sandy note on it. Like a
I
seaside.
only opened the bottle of that yesterday to celebrate Paddy's Day, and what a whiskey it is like.
Wow, yeah.
It's banging.
I think you pulled these down a bit, though, Brendan. I remember trying this in the distillery, this and the rum, and they were big. But I remember you saying you were going to add some of the Bushmills, the Northern Distillery, into it, just to kind of bring it down a touch.
You're right.
You were afraid it was just too big.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, because some of these we had cast beforehand, and some of them we cast afterwards before we figured out the correct blend ratio. But I think that other malt that we added in, that it actually makes up for 20% of the entire mash bill, or the entire blend ratio comes from that other distillery. And it has those lovely apricot notes and a bit of lemon in there as well. That is just so distinctive, and it shines through any blend that it's in. Unfortunately, it's not in enough blends, but oh god, this is about showing off what blends we're about. And I think over the course of the Bonnet Experimental Series, Irish whiskey drinkers have learned a lot as well from all the other distillates that were released out there and all of the other whiskies. We've learned about what offerings come from different distilleries, but I think this really shows what's on offer. You know, you get that lovely Cooley stuff, you get that Cooley grain, and you get that other distillery in there as well.
So dry as well. It just sucks all the moisture out of your mouth.
It does. It's a great experiment, you know.
Grain driven.
I know it's only got those ends on it, but it beats out the Bushmills Acacia, I think, by a long shot.
Big time. It's nearly like there's a bit of a fizz to it, like a Spanish fruit, like a dry fruit, you know.
And the fizz, the effervescence, and that comes from the Chocolina. See, Chocolina, they actually pour it from height because it's so tannic and so aggressive. So they pour it from height, and people think it's a sparkling wine. It's not. You just pour it from a meter, especially in San Sebastian. And when it hits the grass, it's all aerated, and they drink it quite quick, and they get the sparkle in their mouth. So
wow,
that's the and it pairs with the effervescence already in it. So yeah, that fizz is definitely there. You can nearly chew on it.
I just want to.
Sorry, Brendan. You said this is a white wine cask, is it?
Chocolina is a white wine. It's quite an aggressive, tonic white wine.
I want to ask a question of everyone who's on just now. If you come on later, if you have watched this at a later time, I don't really care when you watch it or how you're watching it. But what you want you to do is put into the notes here, just into the comment section. So, you know, you can say it on screen as well. Put it into the comment section. What has been the favourite of the night out of the 7? So out of the entire 7, you know, we've all drunk 7 of them. What has been your favourite of the night? Just put it into the chat. Just type it into the chat so I can see that.
You've 3 different answers here, Paul. I reckon you have different answers depending on the order that we drank them.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that make sense? No,
I
probably
think
doesn't.
it does make. I think it does make sense. Yeah.
The more I've drank, yeah. I know. Yeah, if we had done them in reverse, I would have probably said something different. Because we started 1 to 7.
6 for me.
Now Gary's saying 6. I'm saying
tequila.
I'm saying 3, and Keena's saying number 5 or 1. But if we had done them in reverse, I might have said something different because it wouldn't be 6.
That's subjective. So you're saying that subjective, that really, depending on mood, but even in preference, an order can distort the preference of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you did maybe 3 or 4 in a row, you could come out with a straight answer. Doing 7, or if you go up to 9, that's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
Well, these these are two aren't for discussion.
You were half an hour late as well, so we had a few whiskeys before we.
Hey, Karen, how are we? Hope you're feeling. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are good. Good to see you, Johnny. Used to be oatmeal, but now Hungarian and Pinot for Emma. And interesting. Look, there's lots of good people saying lots of things. I'm saying 4. You like 4 of them, or you like number 4? Yeah, I think. Look, I think you're quite right. I think it's very hard to determine. What happened to him? Where did he go? Bring him back. I didn't kick you out. Must have been yourself.
No, I kicked. Sorry, it was my mistake. I tried to comment and I ended up getting kicked out.
Right. Okay.
That's what I get for smoking.
Look, I just want to see that. I just want to see what's happening. There's excellent, good news, Karen. And look, we'll just put that in there. So they're saying hi to Louise. Super.
Paul, sorry, do you have a vote? Is there any kind of thing you can do a vote on in future, maybe?
Here for a poll, I'm not. I'll just have a quick look. I've never used it for a poll. I don't know if there is.
I think that's
like I have.
Nice idea, though.
I have that issue. No, sorry, apologies for that. But look, it's good enough for me. I can see lots of people writing into the chats. The number 8 is very special. No one has had this before. So this is very unique and very, 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 very special. Okay. So we talked earlier on. We hinted towards this. This is a pochine, and it is. This is the blend of all of the 5 pochines that Brendan has created recently. So this is a blend of all 5 together. So all 5.
Yeah.
All 5.
What's the ratio though?
Sorry.
What's the ratio?
No, exactly. They're exact amounts. Am I right, Brendan? Hold on. Oh, you're a big whinge bag. Don't be a whinge bag.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Here, can I just say one thing before we go any further? I didn't create these. So the Killowen distillery was founded by Shane McCarthy, Liam Brogan, Brendan Carty, and the distillers Pierce Carr and Hugh Feenan. So we're all just mucking in together as much as we can. So everybody has a good influence.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right. So what's the makeup of the makeup of the hash here, the blend?
The blend of this one. So this is the Kruger.
Yeah.
This is the Kruger. Yeah. So the Kruger pochine was sold out far quicker than we expected. We really had squeaky bums about it. We weren't sure what way it was going to go. We knew the quality of the spirit, but we wondered did people woken up yet to what pochine can be? The daddy of all whiskies, basically. And we really pushed the boundary on it. We weren't allowed to call it Irish pochine because we wouldn't be allowed to because of what we've done. It's a protest against the GA. So what we've done here anyway, the Kruger, they represent different breweries, 5 different parts of Ireland, as we know. So we're not going to get too much into it. So all the different ones, basically, all those 5 different pochines, for this tasting that Paul has, I've gotten a sample out of every cask, popped them into the bottle and give it to Paul. So Paul sent that out to everybody. So right now you're tasting a blend of all of the 5 different Krugers: Ulster, Munster, Connacht, Leinster, and Meath. Actually, Westmeath in this case, from the old province of Meath. Celebrating those 5 breweries. So adding them all together is pretty cool. It actually tastes better than any one of them does separately. So it's the same mash bill, all put in the same cask at the same time, just slightly different beer casks. So 10-week old.
As soon as they sent it off, came out. It was a red card. It was a reckless tackle right in the face of the goalkeeper. And,
so who's watching the soccer? Connor.
No. Not me. Not a soccer man.
14 points there, Sparta Prague, who thrashed Celtic during the group stage this competition as well.
It's Paul.
It's Paul.
Paul.
It's Paul.
It's Paul. The guy's got a Scottish accent too.
Kick Paul off. Kick him off. Kick him off.
He's shaking his head. He muted himself and he's shaking his head as if it wasn't him.
Betraying the story of Irish poaching there.
Paul, you were not. All of that interruption the whole time was you, and you're muting everybody else.
Give Paul a red card.
As soon as you muted yourself, the interruption stopped.
You also get the fishy.
Not a fan of that.
Not a fan of that, no?
What a lovely. Here, bring back smoking in pubs, aka Francis McGarrett. Do you want to comment on that blend?
Sound like oily, some cod liver.
Paul, do you want to unmute somebody? Unmute Francis McGarrett.
It's been easy. Man United have defended comfortably. Fred has done it.
All right, we know who's watching the football now.
Fucking him, McGarrett.
Yeah, get him. I wouldn't mind his team is crap.
I'm just looking at my painting on the wall.
Bring him back in. Stop with your TV shite.
Stop with that. What's the situation with that picture? Brendan, it's beautiful. Yep. And you know what?
Brendan,
anyone that has the Cougar set out there.
Is there any plan for the core?
What? What is it?
Is there any plans for the core range?
Core range?
A core range peated.
Coleraine. Is it Coleraine or core range?
Core range. Just a Killowen core range.
Yeah, there's a Killowen core range whiskey coming out, and it's going to continue on. These lads get cut off, but yeah, there's a core range whiskey coming out, lads, and it's going to continue on through. So the core range is a vatting of 2 different casks. I don't want to delve too much into it now, but right now it's sourced whiskey. But as it goes on, we're going to put our own whiskey into these same casks, and it's going to be a core range going through. But there will be a core range poaching as well. But we just need to tackle the technical file first. So that's what we're undergoing right now. I'm not going to make poaching. No.
I was going to ask how illegal is the core range going to be? Like, are we talking mildly illegal or highly illegal?
It's going to challenge the ridiculous rules that are in place. Definitely. You can't put poaching in a cask. You can only put it in wood, rested, and you have to flavour it with some other botanical.
Can it be any wood? Does it have to be oak, or can it be any wood?
Any wood, but you also have to flavour it with something, with a vegetable or something.
That just sounds someone looked up the definition of gin and slapped it on poaching.
Yeah, and vodka, cheap vodka as well. You can make cheap vodka and call it poaching.
So forgive me now, like, for my ignorance, but if anything after 10 weeks that would have been poaching in a cask, that's not whiskey and it's not poaching, what is it?
I haven't a clue.
Is it
I
just
haven't a clue, but if you live in
any
any other country, you can call it poaching. If you can't call it poaching.
It's a new make. Would it not be just called new make, Brendan?
No, because new make isn't in a cask. It's called
malt spirit.
No, but it's not poaching. It's not poaching new make. It's whiskey new make.
And it's not malted spirit either, because it's mixed mash bills with unmalted in it. But it's not new make because it's been aged. It's only new make if it hasn't been aged.
Well, it was the lads up Clear Island.
New make in a cask to become whiskey.
Boat. They had to call it malt spirit.
I wish it was that easy, yeah.
But if that kind of flavour can come out after 10 weeks, Brennan, to be fair, like, I mean, oh my God, what'll come out after 15 months, you know?
I'm only tasting that now. Are you getting a lot of the vegetable notes? This is typical Killowen, all those earthiness in there. You know?
It's like turnip, you know?
Turnips.
Brendan, is it an equal blend of all the different ones? Or
have you ever smelled a raw turkey?
Mick, yeah, and the same with all of them, just the same amount taken out of all of them, Mick.
Yeah.
Together.
I think I did this myself on Friday night, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, Mick, yours was different. You poured some out of each glass into your mouth at the same time. That's different.
Washed down with the occasion.
After a packet, I could coat them all.
Listen, I really like that. I really like the He was
All the days
advertising
though.
that. He was advertising that last week. I really like the blend there of all the different poachings. I think it's absolutely brilliant, Brendan, and I really did like. I thought it was simple. It was a simple thing for you to do. Simple ratios, put them all together, and actually it turned out absolutely great. So you could have released that, and everyone would still have bought it.
Can I just say something as well? It means, Brendan, in the future, if you did that instead of doing the Cougar set, you could actually all vat it together and make a lot more bottles available to people.
Yeah, we can. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to make a core range, but I don't know if we're going to revisit all the brewery stories again this time. But I think it will be a homage to the Cougar. We're just going to call it Cougar, and we're going to create an aged poaching, call it Cougar, pump it out there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
John, I can hear your TV. I can hear your TV.
Oh, sorry, I'll turn it down. It's only fucking Rangers anyway. It's only Rangers.
We've been slagging you about this for the last half an hour.
Yeah, they've been beat 2-0, so it's all right. All is good in the world.
They're still the league champions, Ian. So
I'm on the Gloria.
Or Liverpool. Liverpool.
You only support the winning teams.
Have you got the Gloria, Ian? Have you got some Gloria?
How big is that bottle, Gareth?
It's 700 mils. Yeah.
It just looks huge.
It is huge. Like it's let's see, comparison wise.
Yeah.
Like maybe not that big, but then this it's really weird the way it's converted.
Yeah, that's
sorry, Gareth, how big is that?
It's just a lot thicker, 700 mils.
Well.
But yeah, the legends are true. It does exist.
It exists because everyone's got some. Everyone with a pack has this.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be more Gloria and there's going to be more rum. Is that correct, Brendan?
Yeah, there's a couple of rums coming. There might be after this rum there'll be a gap, I think. But there's more. There's 2 rums coming. Another standard rum, which is better than the last one. And I'll just say here that we've got rum resting in peated casks. So we're going to release a peated rum, and it's the best rum I've tasted because it's peated. It just creates a whole dimension of flavour. I don't think it's probably someone said the last time, but it's happened in Scotland, which is brilliant. The rum in a peated cask is brilliant.
Wow,
it really is.
Is it an Irish peated cask or a Scottish peat?
Great Northern Distillery, and their peated is class. Lovely sweet peat, which is probably, it's funny because they get their peated malt in from Scotland, so it's a Scotch-Irish peated cask. It's all the same company in my mind, anyway.
Is it Irish malt? Is it Irish malt though, Brendan, or is it Scottish malt?
I don't know, but you see, I'm talking to a lot of the lorry drivers up here, and some of them told me that in the 90s, when there were they're old fellas, they used to drive, and they used to pick up, from the pail, all the grain, drive it up north, and drive it over to Scotland for malt houses over there. Scotland couldn't keep up with the grain demand, and they used to buy in Irish grain and malt it up there. So a lot of the Scotch whiskey would have been made from Irish grain, which is an interesting one. This is just first-hand sources.
Didn't Duncan McGilvray say here that the best barley in the world is grown down in the southeast of Ireland? That was the whole reason why Mark came over to Waterford.
Yeah, that's true. The sunny southeast is perfect for grain growing, and if you look at his map, it's all heavily located there.
Wexford, Kenny, Waterford.
Yeah, if I was doing a terroir experiment, I'd have a few malting. I would have a few fields up in Donegal, a few in the Glens of Antrim.
He does.
A few in the Southwest Kerry.
They have a farm in Donegal now.
Oh, brilliant! Next thing you know, they'll be in the 6 counties.
Yeah.
Okay. What
yeah, North Antrim. That's right.
It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Right up there, yeah. It would be. But Donegal, yeah, that's a good one. Good on him. He's doing a really good experiment.
In the Gloria, Brendan, is that molasses or what is it?
The Gloria.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gloria is right. So the Gloria is a different beast altogether. So the Gloria is a cask-aged coffee liqueur. So there's brown demerara sugar in this. So we basically dissolve the sugar into it. So this is remember, this is a chocolate liqueur, so it's allowed to be sweet and all of that. So what we've done is we had the poaching aging in a cask, and then we've I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of vodka in there as well, and it was aging in the cask too. And then we put in ground coffee beans, and then we filtered that out, and then we put in the brown sugar. And so you're getting wood in it, but it's for cocktail making, or else it's for Irish coffee making. But do you know what I'm going to do? Take a sip, and then I'm going to throw up the whiskey in.
Straight from the glass drinking, Brendan. That is gorgeous.
It's great.
It's outrageous.
What's the ABV on that? Sorry,
20. 20. So
that's gorgeous.
You're not allowed to go below 20 for liqueur, So, in fact, the awful thing about liqueur is it has to be 20% sugar, but we haven't done that, so that's another thing. We're not putting that much sugar in. You're out your teeth. So I'm saving everybody's teeth there. I poured a bit of whiskey in there, a bit of the stout cask.
Lovely. It's weird. The lack of alcohol burn compared to the others makes it seem almost cold.
Yeah, Connor, it's like you're drinking water. But I just added whiskey to this. Whiskey makes everything better, but this is great.
It tastes like coffee in the morning.
Does.
I'm going to put a drop of peated into it to see what it does.
Oh, peated's great. I added the coffee that we used was freshly ground Arabica beans from Ethiopia, ethically sourced from the local co-op, who are ethically sourcing from somewhere else. So it's quality beans that went into it. Well worth tasting. We're gonna actually do. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we're going to get a whiskey at some stage and put it into this coffee cask and see what happens. That's down the road. It might be a bit crazy. People will probably not open the bottles and smash windows with them instead or something. But some people will open them.
I did have to. I got 3 of them. One went to somebody else. This one got opened, and it was absolutely class with the Belfast coffee thing. And then Louise got to try some as well. I don't know if she's still on the chat as well.
Brilliant. Good man,
but
Gareth.
It's tasty stuff.
Paul got into an awful fight. He actually purchased 3 bottles from the same people that you bought your bottles from.
Yeah.
And there was an awful row, and I felt so sorry for Paul. And Paul was going to town. If the airports were still open, he was going to fly over there and burn London down.
I know.
So I ended up giving Paul my last 3 bottles, so I don't have any. This is it. So I'm going to add a little bit of cream to this for the crack and pretend to
do bit of cream, bit of nutmeg.
I think it's absolutely fabulous. I'll be honest. I love coffee, but I don't drink coffee. So I can't stand drinking coffee. But the coffee smell, the aroma, coffee creams, coffee cake, anything that with that kind of roasted coffee note is absolutely brilliant. And this is stunning, absolutely stunning. What's wrong with you, John?
No, I'm just wondering, is it possible to order a case of that the next time you bring it out, Brendan?
It depends. Unfortunately, because of the border, we can't do, because of the duty issue. But
I'll meet you at the border.
You can buy it up north.
Where you want. Back of the car. There you go. Problem solved.
Hey, sorted. But there's also this thing that we live in this crazy place that doesn't have good rules, so we can't sell direct to the consumer either. So we'll sell it to a licensed premises who can then sell it to you in the border. Probably. Oh, Ian, we jealous pup.
Oh, she's driving me mad. Like, she's been humping me leg the last 5 minutes. Now she's up here licking my head.
She tried to bite my hand off the last time I was in your house last week. She's licking your head.
Here, look at that. Look at that. Well done, Richard.
God love her.
Fair play, Richard Kyle. Great in a tiramisu, so he says.
Oh yeah.
My cream is sank, and now it looks like coffee, but it's beautiful.
It looks like Bailey's.
Probably one of the creamiest coffee liqueurs I've ever had in my mouth. It just has this luxurious mouthfeel to it. It's gorgeous. It really, really is that.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks very much.
Look, you're getting some love. You're getting some love.
Paul should have sent out 20 sales of that.
It's very subtle compared to something like Tia Maria or Kahlua.
It's perfect for making your own. If you stick a bit of that with whiskey and then make yourself your own coffee, like that's the idea.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you could do a cream liqueur now that, let's just say, would match something like, let's just say, a brand name like Bailey's, and then have maybe like a baby Guinness kind of thing.
Well, we can't comment on any particular brands, but I will tell you that. Well done, lads. There's another company pretty close to Killowen that's going to be rocking that space very soon.
Oh,
Ecklandville.
They're going to be. But anyway, what have I got here?
So lads in London, what have we got? We've got a wee bit of the Gloria.
Yeah.
We've got some Baileys going in and top.
I'm in the Bailey.
I'm going to do that too.
Well, I like brandy, so let's try this one.
I'm going to say Gloria by itself was delicious.
I'm going to say it's good.
Totally agree.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's the Gloria Bailey's thing? Fucking hell. Yeah.
It's a very Irish-looking kitchen. You said
that's a proper night. I haven't been done up since the 70s. That's probably why.
I can smell the tea out of the place.
Owen smoking veins as well.
Right, lads.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
So, come here, Glory and Bailey's.
Everybody look at Ian's dog.
It's not funny anymore. It's annoying. Yeah. She was on my leg. Honestly, she was on my leg for 5 minutes and then she's up. It's as if like this is the like foreplay and she'll go do it again.
That's disturbing.
Brilliant.
That's disturbing me.
Brilliant.
That's disturbing.
Brilliant.
Can't deal with that shit.
The tongue right into the ear. That's
Oh.
brilliant. That's brilliant. Fucking hell, that's class. There's some characters about.
Bring back smoking. Bring back smoking, John.
Bring back smoking. Do bring back smoking.
Bring
back dogs that ride your leg and bring back smoking.
But she's a bitch and she's riding your leg.
Yeah.
So not the other way around. It usually does that.
No. You've seen the size of her, Brendan. It couldn't be the other way around.
I mean, it's not usually men dogs that hump legs.
Yeah, I'm everybody's bitch, Brendan. It's okay.
Oh, this is crazy. This isn't the cult drinking session now. This is the Belfast Whiskey Week.
I know.
There has to be a filter.
Okay.
There's a filter in the Belfast Whiskey Week.
Hold on 1 second. Paul was coursing all the way through the first half hour.
What the fuck you on about?
Exactly. There's no difference in fucking riding. They're the same thing, Paul.
What?
Listen, is that hurting your leg again?
Right, okay. Bring him back. Right, so, listen. We went through all 7. We've had a bit of the Poitín, a little bit of the Gloria. It's been good fun. It's been well worth the wait. It's been lovely to see Killowen bring us this. And now, unfortunately, you've got to bring more. I think that's the problem here. You know, you've got a crowd who really want to see you grow. Well done. And listen, anyone who's watching this who's never heard of Killowen, if they ever come on and listen to this, sorry for the swear words, the expletives, the person that has a dog, let's here, you know, all those things. Apologies for all of that. But listen, it's a bit of banter. You know, we're still school night. It's a Thursday night, but we're on lockdown, so really every night's a freaking Saturday night. Doesn't really make much difference. It's been a bit of crack. And listen, Brendan, I hope you've enjoyed going back through them all. You know, sometimes you can maybe lose touch. You know, people can maybe lose touch, but it's been nice to see some bottles getting opened. And Gareth, is that the Belfast Whiskey Week bottle?
It is. With I don't know, like we're just crack. I kind of feel bad cracking it open if nobody else has any though.
Yeah, well, there's Connor's got a bottle.
Garrett, can I buy your Gloria off you?
It's too tasty. Sure, there's more coming out anyway. There's more coming out
Not
anyway.
long now. Not long now.
Oh, well done. Look at all these. Look at all these special
Can I
bottles.
just say one thing, Paul?
Absolutely love it. Well done, guys.
Paul, can I just say one thing? Just to Brendan and the lads for being so accessible. They're always there. Anytime you want to talk to them, they're always there. Anytime someone wants to message them, they're always there. That's why I think Killowen have no problem in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people love you for who you are. I think there's 10% romance in your bottles. 90% whiskey, 10% romance.
Where's Pierce? Where's Pierce when you want him? Where's Pierce when you want him? No, get him on here.
Pierce, as you know, is camera shy. Pierce has got away with words.
Oh, he has away with words, like.
I know it's after 9 o'clock.
Seriously, add some of that Toxolina cask into the coffee liqueur. It's the Gloria. It's savage.
The chocolate, yeah.
You're 100%
because of the amount of poke in it.
But
Gloria, by the way, Gloria means.
Before you go, Paul,
Gloria is what
I just want to say thanks for organising it, because realistically, this is one of the things that is a massive part of the hobby, but at the same time, it keeps us sane in the middle of fucking lockdown where we can't meet our friends to have a whiskey and stuff and have a chat and have a natter and the shit stuff that's going on. So it's nice to have a laugh on a Thursday night, and I appreciate that an awful lot, you know.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Cheers,
lads.
Ian, you down in Limerick, are you? Cork.
Aye.
Okay. The amount of legends in Cork following Killowen.
Hold on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds before people vanish. Wait a minute. Ian, what you saying, Owen?
No.
No.
Two of the finest.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those two. You can't go wrong with them at all. Listen, lads, really enjoyed you guys coming on. Bit of banter there from Londonshire. Listen, it's good. Listen, it's good to know you enjoyed it, lads. Listen, thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate it.
Thanks very much for all that. Brendan, thanks for coming as well. It's been great.
Hi, Brendan.
Thanks, boys. Legends. Cheers. Up the London crew.
Aidan, I just want to say, 100%. And do you know what? When I was putting together, as I say at the start, when I was putting together these ones for the Paddy's Week, I just wanted to respect what had gone on here with the Killowen. I thought it was really nice. The Killowen cult for me is just is getting bigger. It's exciting. You know, people want to support the distillery, and I thought this was a nice way to round this off. I'd pulled together my personal collection and emptied it, you know, for the tastings. And I think that was really important, you know. So I'm just glad that everyone, because there's a lot of people who'd not tried them all. You know, a lot of people still haven't got to try them all. They're starting to collect some and maybe tried 1 or 2 here or there. So to do the whole set, I think was important. So enjoy that. Thank you very much, Aidan. Good lad.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, boy. Thank you.
Oh, come on. That's
Ian.
I appreciate
Thanks a
those
million,
words.
buddy. We'll see you in a few weeks when it all opens up again.
So. You better have some more fucking rum.
It's only 3 hours to Cork. It's only 3 hours to Cork. It's class.
I'll drive. No problem. Pleasure, lads. Absolute pleasure.
No problem. Rab, listen, I'm sorry you missed it also, Rab, but here it's all right. It's all good. Here, there you go. He's back. He's back. Dog.
Sorry, phone died. Phone died. I'm in the kitchen now. Sorry, wrong one.
Here, Ian. Do you remember you got your stout delivered to your house? Who was delivering your pints of stout? Where'd he go? Mom was getting pints of stout delivered to his house.
I don't know, but that Guinness has lasted him all evening, like.
It's the same one. It's a fake glass.
The massive baby Guinness.
Indeed.
Excellent, Shimini. Thank you. No, listen, there's no need to thank us. Like, it's the end of the day. We're just here for the banter, having a bit of crack, you know.
Charlie, you're a good crack.
I've just realised. I think I'm gonna keep this one for opening whenever you do your Killowen liquid finished in the Solera rum casks, and do a wee side by side. That'd be nice. Because no, I stroked some of the wee sample bottles from Ecklandville whenever we were packing the Belfast Whiskey Week boxes. There's a wee bit extra, so I've just been living off those samples, like, which you gave me, Paul. To be fair, you gave me. Did
I?
Aye.
Gareth,
Well, you gave me 33% of them.
Gareth, I don't think you need to explain yourself. I think you've opened more Killowen bottles than the majority of anybody. So,
to be fair, like, it's just good stuff. And to be honest, like, yeah, I do fangirl a wee bit about it, but only because it's bringing out good quality liquid, nice taste. Like, not one of them have. Some of them have been a bit.
Oh, just when he was about to say something awful, it froze. Unbelievable. So we can all sit here and go, yeah, I agree, they are shit.
They're fantastic.
Kind of like, oh, do I like it as much at the start, or did that cut off?
Or just for a moment.
All right.
You just froze there.
No, I was gonna say, like, all of the ones you've brought out, like, some of them at the start, I've just kind of thought, like, maybe this is the one where I don't like it so much, but actually, you know, whether it's leaving the bottle open for a while or adding a bit of water and just playing around with it, it's all been great stuff in the end, and it's it's nice stuff to try. So it's
never been less than interesting, even if it's not been particularly been to my taste. It's something new, it's something different, it's something I have to think about and, you know, examine my preconceptions about how certain things should be with regards to whiskey.
It's like that. This stock has been floating around Ireland. This stock's been floating around Ireland for a good while. Northern Irish 12-year-old single malts, for instance, Cooley has been there from the early 90s. Obviously nobody can touch, you know, Middleton, so we don't get any of that. But that's the other stuff's been there. You know, it's accessible. Why have people not been blending it? That's what I'm wondering. Blends are important.
No, being honest with you, it's genuinely like when you're like I live probably 5 minutes away from Middleton Distillery. Like literally, I'm only Carrigtwohill, only literally over the road. I can see the distillery from my house. And being honest with you, when they changed and they started making Redbreast again, and they started making Redbreast 12 and Redbreast 15, and they took away the big core brands of Jameson Gold Reserve, Jameson Special Reserve, Jameson 18 was all gone. Like, the stuff that you're doing, it literally shoves a middle finger right up Middleton's arse, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
that's not what we want to do. I love them. I love it.
That's the tagline for the next series.
They have their place.
We do not want to be saying that.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've 27 inside in the fucking cupboard, and it's stunning stuff. But as regards to drinking whiskey and everyday whiskey, that I would go, do you know what? I want a whiskey. What am I going to go for? I'm going to go for a fucking Killowen. And that's what I'm at. Like, I wouldn't open a bottle of 12-year-old Redbreast before I'd open a bottle of Killowen, and that's it.
Oh, Aidan, you're a gentleman. It means a lot to hear that. You know, but here, do you see this new 12-year-old Redbreast? I can't wait to open it. I got 2 bottles delivered today, and
the 10-year-old. You mean?
Sorry.
The 10.
The 10. Yeah,
the 10. Sorry, the 10-year-old. 10-year-old. So Mark McLaughlin wrote a lovely article on it today. So
that one there.
That's it. Good man, Connor. I'm going to look into that tomorrow. I can't wait. And I'm going to read Mark's article at the same time, and just because he's compared it with the older stuff. But it's class. I hear, where are we going to be in 10 years' time when all of the people making hospitals now? Where are we going to be? There's going to be some amazing hospitals, because there's some shit hospitals out there at the minute. In not too distant future, like 10 years is nothing. So people have Ecklandville are sitting in 7-year-old or 8-year-old stock. Do you know what I mean? In a few years, we're going to get some amazing whiskies.
Ecklandville stuff is fucking unbelievable,
isn't it? Like,
that's fucking unreal. You know what I mean? Every single bottle that they bring out is a fucking drinker, and it's a masterful drinker.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, some of them are bound. Some of them are bound to fail and collapse. Like, surely from the business side of things, like, some of them will just wither away. But it's I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be so many good ones, you know, because the ones that survive are gonna be the ones that are bringing out stuff people just want to buy again and again. And
see the ones that unfortunately, if some do unfortunately not survive, anything they have produced gets sold to somebody else. So the whiskey's still in Ireland, and we can still enjoy it.
Mick fell asleep again. Mick fell asleep again. Just saying.
Mick's a legend, boy. Funniest man in Ireland.
I just heard Aidan slagging off Middleton.
Yeah.
No,
sacrilege.
He didn't.
Sacrilege, man. Sacrilege.
He didn't. You
should be fucking ashamed of yourself, man. From Cork.
I said that
he said he loves it. He loves it.
Tell you what, though, like them bringing out the 10, whether it's
I'll be
old
checking
style,
that page.
but whether the 10's old style or not, I was quite encouraged to see that they're putting some marketing out or something that gives a bit of recognition to the fact that people want maybe something that was old style, whether that's different mash bill, traditional pot style, whatever it is, and maybe they're starting to kind of jump on board that train. So
Ian thinks that you're slag in Middleton, but we're not. Like, we fucking love it.
I love Middleton. I have loads of Middleton. I mean, I have a massive Method Madness Batch 1 collection. But I mean, like, being realistic, I'd be afraid to open it because is it going to disappoint? Is it going to be, and it's rare, is it going to be disappointing?
It never disappoints. It never disappoints.
Your stuff never disappoints. So I would open yours quicker.
Yeah. In fact, the Middleton itself, I'm not about, but Redbreast doesn't disappoint.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, very rare is miss.
Middleton very rare is shite. Let's be honest about it. The 2020 was
By the way, I'm going to say none of this is affiliated with Killowen.
All opinions are purely personal and do not reflect official.
100% personal. And I had the 2020 and it was cack. So I have no problem in saying that.
Paul, did you kick Ian off or did Ian kick himself off?
Ian left. He wasn't able to hear the truth.
Ian dropped his phone.
Brendan, I just want to give you a gentle reminder. If you are expecting to have this Redbreast 10-year-old to be one of those old school pot stills what you're used to from Redbreast brand, you'll be disappointed.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I just had this. I just had this before before I noticed that this show was on. I had this side by side with 15-year-old Jameson, Gilbis from the 1980s, Redbreast 12 years old, and it's nowhere near the mark. What you would, I was expecting that same old character.
Brendan.
From the 70s, 80s.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
It's good stuff. It is good stuff.
I'm going to
Which batch is that? Which batch is that, Brendan?
This is batch 119. I love this. But look, there's nothing left in it.
No, the thing is, like, it's more 50% or more of us that are on the screen at the minute. Our favourite whiskey is probably the Friend at Hand Redbreast 25. So there's definitely aspiration there. Like,
there's a joke. There's a joke amongst the Dubs. They laugh at us because we're choosing it because it's a Belfast whiskey. So bring on back Ian and Mick. They'll tell you. But it's fair enough. Quality. It was better than the Dream.
Like, I'm just going to say, tonight was about Killowen. We ended up now talking about Redbreast, and we talked about something else there. We talked about MVRs. We talked about not appreciating Middleton, which is bollocks, because everyone appreciates what's coming out of Middleton. Now, MVRs are a different kettle of fish, and we can talk about whether or not there's a monetary craziness that's going on there. Yes, we can talk about secondary, tertiary markets of MVRs, but actually, some of the pot still that's in there. I've done some side by sides. I can tell you, from 1984 all the way through, they don't all taste the same. They all taste completely different, and some of them are not as good as the others, but some of them are quite nice. Ed McGovern is making a great point. Looking forward to Killowen's own whiskey. I'm guessing it'll have its own unique identity. And listen, good luck, all.
Correct.
Loving to hear that. Absolutely loving to hear that, because Is that not what it's about tonight? You know, it's about recognition of Killowen and what they've done here. The Bonded Experimental Series is about cask management. We've used some really nice liquid from the Cooley distillery and from a northern distillery. You know, but I can come out and say it's Bushmills. Maybe Brendan can't. But you know, let's be honest. 2 good distilleries producing 2 good, you know, single malts, and that's a lovely single grain in there as well. So that complexity of that is shown that they've created a very good blend, and we have shown now 7 different finishes, which are all unique, completely unique. It's the same freaking stuff in it, and all unique at different, you know, levels of cask strength, but all cask strength in that sense, and it's been great. But and with the number 8 that we drunk there, which is the Potchin, if that's what is going to be or coming towards or going to be close to what we're going to expect now from Killowen, I think, Ed, it's going to be fabulous. And yes, it will have its completely unique identity. There is no doubt about that. So, listen, thank you very much, Ed. And listen, just to... it's not a spliff, I believe it's a cigar. And listen, yeah. Where is Anthony? I've no idea. And Shamini, look, good night. Great crack indeed. Oh, thank you very much. Listen, we've really enjoyed everyone that's come on for the banter. We'll bring Ian Garrett back in, even though he put himself
Paul, just
out.
for a second.
Yes, go ahead.
Before you say hi to everybody, Paul, can I just interrupt you for a second? Now, you're talking about, like, yes, how good it is and all. Like, most of us have tasted the new make spirits out of Killowen, and we know that is superb.
Yes.
And I heard this quote from one of the Whiskey Hall of Fame member, which is from Ireland, and his name is Noah Sweeney. And you know what his number 1 rule is? What goes into the cask has to be good. And if it's good, it's going to be good when it's coming out. So, do you need any more questions?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Like,
I actually thought you were
I've tasted Brandon's new make. You have tasted it, and most of it tasted it. It's fucking brilliant. So, whatever going to come out of those casks, which are laid down there, they're going to be brilliant.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Zoltan. I actually thought you were going to say you're speaking to Noel Sweeney, and he was going to say Killowen's liquid is the best liquid he's ever tasted. Thought that's what you were going to say. I was really looking forward to that.
I don't know if you tasted it, and I was really look. Noel Sweeney is an honest gentleman, and
yes.
if you would put that stuff in front of him blind, you would get an honest
you would
opinion on that. Like, he's not a bullshitter. He knows his stuff. You know, he's been a Hall of Famer for a reason, and he won't tell you stupid things. But, like, you know it. You tasted lots of new make spirits, and I did too. And yes, Killowen stuff is superb.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
that is not spot on.
Once it goes in the cask like that, it hardly go bad.
Agreed.
So I can't wait for the first official Killowen
whiskey
distillate to come out as Killowen whiskey. Yeah, I take a taste of that. Take my money now.
Definitely. Brendan, can we just make sure it's not Zoltan's cast that comes out first? Jeez, we'll never hear the end of it.
No chance.
Paul's cask it is, so we can all enjoy it.
Is this not the only cast that's been released from Dingo?
Yeah, they're yet to release their own.
Released other cast.
No, they've not released that yet.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Listen, it's no harm in loving your own.
It's been good crack. If anyone wants to come in right this very second and stay on for a bit of banter, come into this chat just now. I'm going to put the link in, okay? And I'm going to turn off the communal one in a second. But if you want to come into this one, I've got. Can I
ask Brendan a question? Brendan, Aye.
Go right.
You don't have to be cautious. It's okay. You don't have to be cautious.
For another 4 people if they want to.
No, I'm just wondering, how do you think this vote will go? How do you think this vote will go for the pot still legislation down the road?
Oh no, it's already passed. It's already passed. In fact, it's not really a vote. It's just about. We were convinced it was a vote for a very long time. The level of corruption is bonkers, so we're not getting into that. But the hearts and minds have been won because of the hard work from the people putting in the research, and the people who are putting in the research have actually turned around and said it's the hard work from people like us making the whiskey, but it's not. Fionnán O'Connor, Jack and all the guys, and Brian Green. Those are the guys doing in the hard work. We're just. It just so happened that. I figured out what our Killowen mash bill was, and it just seemed to tie in with Bandon mash bill, sort of, and Cumber and all the rest. But yeah, the leak's out. The Irish Whisky Association voted, and they agreed. And
I think
it doesn't matter what they agree.
I'm going to take this.
It's about evidence that you give to the Department of Agriculture. And then HMRC just follow suit because they don't give a shit.
I want to say sláinte, and I want to say good night, everybody. Enjoy enjoy what you're doing the rest of the evening. We're going to stay on for a bit of banter, but listen, as the broadcast will end. If you wanted to come into the chat, you had to click that button there just now. But listen, cheers. Thanks very much for everyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Oh, there we
Thanks,
go.
Brendan. Thanks, Paul.
Ian, you're staying. You're staying.
In here. Anyone else wants to come in? We've got 1 second.
Oh, sorry, we're not going. Okay, brilliant.
No, we're
just moving on to the other.
Thanks,
we're moving on to the Keuga.